So your man cheated on you and now you have BV. Let me preface this by saying, I know there are instances where you don't have sex or you are not sexually active and you still can get BV, right? Like BV's finicky like that. Like you can get BV just by like having on your gym clothes for too long, your sweaty gym clothes for too long. So I know there are instances where you're not necessarily sexually active at the moment, but yet still out of nowhere, you're just like, oh my goodness, I got BV. So this is not the video for one of those moments. This video is specifically focused on you getting BV through sexual intercourse. And you are aware that, man, I got BV through sex from my partner because my man cheated on me. This is what this video is really focused on. Okay, so let's get into it. Hi, my name is Pia, and no, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, girl. I'm a regular girl who figured out how to heal BV out of sheer desperation after living with it for 10 long, terrible years. And now I run an online community for women who are struggling with recurrent BV and need help healing it. This is an amazing community of women who are ready to transform their lives, advocate for their health, and really take matters into their own hands. So if you want to be a part of the sisterhood and get access to the routines and strategies that I use to heal BV for good, and you want to be a part of a supportive, judgment-free tribe, then I encourage you to check out the information in my description box below. In this video, we're going to be discussing these points. Your man doesn't have BV, she does. Find the strength to leave. If you choose to stay, focus on your health and lifestyle. Go through his phone. You may have gotten bacterial vaginosis from your male partner, but your male partner does not have bacterial vaginosis because he's a man and men cannot get bacterial vaginosis. It is so annoying to hear that, especially if you know that your man gave you BV. How dare somebody tells you that, oh, well, your man doesn't have BV. When the doctors say that, I think it's one of the most frustrating things someone who's struggling with BV can hear, because we know we got it from him. So for you to tell me that he doesn't have it, then can you explain to me how I got it from him? Like, how does it work? So this is something that's always been confusing for me, and I'm pretty sure it's probably confusing for you too. So let's go into it a bit. The reason why doctors may say you have BV, or yes, your male partner gave you BV, but he doesn't have it, it's because you need a vagina to have BV, okay? It's called bacterial vaginosis. It's not called bacterial penisis or bacteria penosis or bacteria penis. It's really called bacterial vaginosis, and that's because you need a vagina to really get bacteria vaginosis. The bacteria that causes BV is native to the vagina, not the penis or like the penis environment, right? So that's the reason why doctors will say, well, you may have BV, and even though you got it from your male partner, he still doesn't have BV. That's because he can't get BV because he doesn't have a vagina. BV affects the vaginal environment. It doesn't affect the penile environment, okay? So that's the reason why they're saying, yeah, you may have gotten it from your male partner, but he doesn't have BV. If it is not bacterial vaginosis, what is this man passing back on to us? What he is passing back to us is the bacteria. He has the bacteria that causes bacterial vaginosis. Like if he did sleep with somebody who has bacterial vaginosis, he comes back to you, but it's not that how we have it, and it's affecting our pH, it's affecting our discharge, it's affecting our smell. That is not how he's experiencing it. What he has is literally the bacteria is living on his penis, living on his skin, like the bacteria is on his private area, okay? The bacteria is living on his private area. So that's how it gets transferred to you. When we sleep with somebody, or when you're sleeping with your man who gave you BV, he is passing the bacteria that he got from her, he's passing it on to you. And that's how now you have bacterial vaginosis. And you may be thinking like, so does that mean that he cheated on me and he didn't shower? No, because like bacteria lives on our skin, right? Like that's just what bacteria does. Like we have trillions of bacteria on our bodies, in us, all over the place, right? Like it's a part of our makeup as human beings, right? We need bacteria actually. So yeah, I'm not saying he never showered when he cheated on you. We know he cheated. We're not saying he never showered. We're just saying that's what bacteria is. You can't just wash it off, right? It just chills. Bacteria is just chilling. It's just chilling. Okay. So he cheated on you. He may have even showered, girl, but that bacteria is still there just doing its thing and waiting to infect you. So that's what really doctors mean when they're like, oh, your man can't get bacterial vaginosis. No one has ever explained this to me, and it's always driven me crazy because I'm like, but I know I got it from a man. So what are you saying? So now that you know that he's cheated, now you know that he doesn't have BV, but he's a carrier of the bacteria, and he has brought it back to you when you guys slept with each other unprotected. Now you have BV. Let's talk about what you can do about it. Find the strength to leave. And like, you know what? When I was going to do this video, I was going to be nice. Like, I was going to be like, no, maybe something is happening. Like, I was going to make up all types of excuses. But the fact of the matter is, girl, he cheated. And we know he cheated. And if he cheated and brought back BV, you got to find the strength to leave. Because let me tell you something. BV is stubborn. And when it gets a hold of you, she is hard to shake. It's hard to get rid of BV. I am telling you, I would prefer to get chlamydia than get BV, okay? Because at least I know I'm going to go to the doctor. The doctor's going to give me something for it. In a couple of days, I'm going to be good to go, or weeks, whatever it may be, okay? However long the prescription is for, I'm going to be good to go after. BV, you go to the doctor, you think you're good for, like, you know, you're doing your thing, taking the prescription as prescribed for the amount of time it's prescribed for, and out of nowhere, 7 days, 14 days passes, and you're like, yeah, BV is going to go away, and she doesn't move. That 14 days was a waste of time. BV is very stubborn. So if that man cheated and brought back BV to you, girl, you know what he could have brought back? He could have brought back all kinds of STIs. He could have brought back something that is actually incurable. Like uncurable, incurable. One of those words, incurable. I'm going to put the right one here. I'm not sure which one it is. Incurable? It sounds weird. But anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. He could have brought back something from the girl that he cheated with that you can cure. Incurable, uncurable, one of them. And it would have been in even bigger trouble. You get what I'm trying to say? So if he is so slack or so lack with your quality of life, then girl, why are you sticking around? Just go. Just go. I'm sorry. And let me tell you something. If you are sleeping with someone who has BV, all you guys are doing is passing it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's like tag your it, tag your it, tag your it, tag your it. It's not going to go away, okay? It's not going to go away. So if you know, all right, and in this video, we're talking like we know. We know he cheated. We know he brought back BV. Girl, find the strength to leave. Let me tell you something. It's time for us as women to really just take a stance. Like stand 10 toes down on your health. Advocate for your health. If you're with a slimy man who actually literally couldn't have the respect for you, like to even use a condom, and that's not even respect, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm trying to say? If he went out there and just slang him, just going about it reckless with his life, and now recklessly comes back to you, he's actually being reckless with your life as well because you trusted him, right? When you're sleeping with someone unprotected, it's like you guys have that trust between each other that, hey, I am holding your health in my hand. You are holding my health in your hand. And I expect you to be responsible with this, right? I am giving you this responsibility as you are giving me that responsibility. So he wasn't even responsible enough to actually even take care of himself to wrap it up and brought back BV to you, and now you're supposed to live with it and live with his infidelity and smile up and make him smile up in your face every day like you're like everything is cool. Girl, find the strength to leave. Find the strength to leave. I cannot tell you how many TikToks I have, and all of the TikToks, everybody's just like, the minute I left the man, the BV was gone. The BV left too. The minute I left the man, the BV left with him. And that's just what it is. Because if you keep sleeping with somebody who has BV, it is not going anywhere. It will stay with you forever. And what did I tell you about BV? BV is stubborn. So if you want to stick around with the man, with the cheating man, girl, that's on you. It's fine. But just understand that BV is not going to go away. You're taking the medication for it. You're doing the natural way. Nothing is going to work because you guys keep passing it back and forth. Do you understand? Girl, stand 10 toes down for yourself and advocate for yourself. Because let me tell you something how men are. Had you brought back something to him, he wouldn't even think twice. He wouldn't even think twice. You ever realize how men just take a stance for what they want? And us as women, a lot of times we bend a little like, oh, you know, but I did this for you. So like, what do you think? Are you going to be able to do that for me? And he'll look you straight dead in the eye, no smile, no nothing, like, nah, that's not me, and I'm just not going to do it. And you feel dumb because you're going to be like, but I did this for you. And he's like, yeah, but that's not me, and I'm not doing it. Girl, if you brought back something to that man, he wouldn't hesitate to be like, honestly, I can't even do this anymore. Like, honestly, I can't sleep with you anymore. I gotta go. Like, I can't. You violated me, and I just can't look at you the same way anymore. This is done and over with. So why are you trying to make excuses for him? He gave you BV. He could have given you something worse. Girl, get up and go. Run. The third point I want to make is, if you decide to say, no, girl, I'm not judging you, to each his own, right? Like, we're all grown people here. This is just me throwing stuff out there. I'm not telling you to listen to it. You don't have to leave your man if you don't want to. But if you choose to say, there's no judgment here either. If you do choose to say, this is what I suggest. If you go to the doctor, or actually when, because you should have gone to the doctor already, right? That's how you know you have BV. But when you go to the doctor and you find out that you have BV, please convince your doctor to treat your partner as well, your male partner as well. And for a lot of us, it's not going to be easy because, like, once again, just by me being on TikTok, having conversations in my comments and stuff like that, it is so hard to get doctors to treat your male partner. And it goes back to them saying, right? Like, it goes back to the first part of my video. Men don't get BV because BV occurs in the vaginal environment. And because they believe that men don't get BV, they don't see a need to treat the male partner. But if he is bringing back something, it may not be in the medical, I guess the medical word, they may not be saying it's BV, but he's bringing back something. He's bringing back some type of he's bringing back bacteria to me. What can you do? You know what I mean? So I think some doctors, and as I said, I'm not a doctor or medical, anything like that, right? This is just me having conversations in my comments and stuff like that on TikTok. And like, some women, you'll see some of them like tap in and they're just like, you know what? I got my doctor to treat my male partner, or I got my doctor to treat so-and-so. So now, you know, we're both good. So if you do choose to say, girl, please advocate for your health, and please build a case for yourself when you go into that doctor's office. The worst thing you can do is be wishy-washy, like, but I think, but no. Like, be firm and stern and be like, I need you to treat this man because he has it. And even if you treat me, once I sleep with him again, we're going to get it back. Like, I'm going to get it back, because the fact of the matter is we don't use condoms with each other. And that's just the reality. So I need you to treat him. So, and if not, go to another one. But it seems, and I said, I'm not a doctor. It's just from my comments on my TikTok. It seems that a few people have tapped in and said some doctors were willing to treat their male partners. So if you choose to say, see if you can get your doctor to do that, because I just think I just don't see how it makes sense for them to know that your male partner can be a carrier of the bacteria, not necessarily bacterial vaginosis, but a carrier of the bacteria that triggers BV, but they don't think it's necessary to treat him. Well, he passed it on to me. So doesn't he still have it? Like, are we not passing it back and forth now? It's so stupid. So girl, if you choose to stay, please try to convince your doctor to treat him as well. Else both of you guys are going to be playing BV tag. If you choose to stay, I would suggest that you guys start using condoms right now. Because one thing with BV, it's almost like a domino effect. Things that were never an issue before, once you get BV, they start becoming an issue. Let's talk about before, right? Let's say before he cheated, you guys were sleeping with each other unprotected, and you were fine. He wasn't pulling out or anything. He was inside of you and you guys were good to go. Now that he's cheated and now that you have BV, I am guaranteeing you that if you guys sleep with each other unprotected, not only will the BV obviously be tagging each other, be going back and forth, because the BV is on his private, the bacteria is on his private, and now it's going into yours. So it's kind of like you guys are passing it back and forth. But now his semen is most likely going to throw you off. And this may have never happened before. Like, you guys could have been sleeping with each other for years, right? For 5 years, and year 6 he cheats. And all of a sudden now, when you guys sleep with each other unprotected and he inside of you, now his semen is throwing you off. So if you do choose to say, another option is for you guys to start using condoms, because his semen is going to start throwing you off like crazy. Because don't forget, our pH is supposed to be between 3.8 and 4.5, right? Like, that's where our sweet spot is. And semen is at like 7.2, I believe. So it's more like alkaline. So once he inside of you, when you guys are having your sexy time, girl, his semen is going to raise your pH like never before. And as I said, BV is finicky because it has a domino effect. He may have been coming inside of you for years. You guys are good to go. Nothing on guan. Nothing on nothing's being thrown off. The minute you find out that you have BV, when it comes inside of you now, it's going to start triggering your BV even worse. So if you do choose to stay, girl, my suggestion is to start using a condom, because his semen is probably going to start throwing you off like crazy. And not any condom. Start to use, once again, it goes back to now you're in a whole different situation with BV, because now down there is going to be even more sensitive now that you have BV. So everything's going to throw you off. So be careful of the condom that you're using. I literally cannot remember the name of the condoms, but I know, oh my goodness, the name is missing me right now. Maud. Is it Maud? MAUDE. Yes. That is actually I'll put the name of the condom on here. That's a condom that's actually made without harmful chemicals. So look into that. There's a few more of them. So you guys let me know in the comments if you want me to go through like the condoms that are kind of safer for women who are struggling with BV, because this is something that we have to be careful with as well, because since now we have BV, many things that weren't an issue before becomes an issue. And one of them could be the condoms that you use. So you have to be a little bit more careful with that. If you want more information on condoms that aren't made with harmful chemicals, let me know. And I can do a video on that. The next thing you can do if you choose to stay is go through his phone. This is probably more problematic. This is a very problematic advice, and I'm aware of that. But I'm just, as I said, I was going to be very nice in this video, and I just decided to just say what we're all thinking. You can go through his phone and let her know that, hey, by the way, he gave me BV, so most likely, me and you both have BV from him, and tag you're it, or some days it's tag I'm it. So, and you're a hot girl, so you don't have to go off and be like, oh, he's my man, da, 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 da. Like, why? He's cheating and he's dirty. So like, there's no need to do all of that. But like, I don't know, sometimes, maybe it'll make you feel better. I don't know, but you can always do that. Like, and nobody has to know either. Like, if you don't want to seem that type of girl who calls people's phone and stuff like that, you don't have to let anybody know. You can do it on the down low and just call her and text her, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's gonna make you feel better, whatever, just do it. But if it's not, then girl, just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Okay? As I said, I know this is problematic advice, but you're gonna leave anyway, so whatever. So the last thing you can do is focus on your health and lifestyle. As I said, now that you have BV, everything is going to become a thing. Before you could probably eat like half a box of donuts, but now probably you eat one donut and the next morning you wake up and your BV is going to be like, she's going to be in your face. You could probably go and eat like 2-3 scoops of ice cream. You do that now. If you're struggling with BV, you'll probably realize that it's just not the same anymore. As I said, once you get BV, I find that things that weren't an issue start becoming an issue. So you really have to tweak your lifestyle in order to really get over this thing. And one of the ways you can do that is, as I've always said, reduce your sugar intake, because sugar feeds the bacteria that causes BV. So if you're just like, honestly, I'm struggling with BV, I've taken the medication, it didn't help me. Maybe it did help you. If it did, good. If it did, girl, praise the Lord, because for some of us, it does not work. So if you're one of the girls that it worked for, thank you, God. Thank Jesus. But if it did not work and you want to tweak your lifestyle a bit, one of the ways you can do that is just by reducing your sugar, because we know that the bacteria that causes BV loves sugar. So cut back on the coffee. Maybe don't drink like an iced coffee 3 times per day. Maybe just do once per day, or once every other day, or once per week, or make it now a treat, like make it like, like I'll go through the week or I'll go through 2 weeks, however it may be. And then I'm going to treat myself to an iced coffee every now and then, because we already know that it's like full of sugar. It's sugar water. We know those when we go to Starbucks and we get a frap, we know it's sugar water. It is what it is, right? And the same thing for like snacking, right? Now you have to snack a little smarter, you know? Whereas if you were a girl that you were always like snacking on junk food, just snacking on like snacks, all of that stuff, you have to be a little bit more careful, you know? You have to take a little bit more caution in how you snack. So, you know, start to eat more fruits, you know? Start to get in those berries to get those antioxidants. Like, you just have to move a little bit smarter with what you put into your body, because we know we are what we eat. And when it comes to BV, what we eat truly affects our vaginal health, especially if you struggle with BV. It's almost like whatever we're eating, the next day we wake up and we're like, okay, great, I shouldn't have had that because now BV is attacking my face. You know what I'm trying to say? So be a little bit more careful with your lifestyle. If you're a smoker, pull back on the smoking. If you're a girl who's always drinking alcohol, pull back on the alcohol. If you know you don't drink water, then girls, start drinking water. Just start to make those tiny little lifestyle changes that you know are going to work in favor of you actually in favor of you slowly getting rid of BV. And girl, believe it or not, slow and steady wins the race when it comes to BV. As I said, I had BV for 10 years and it took me forever to get rid of it. But once I started to kind of like really put the right things in place, the right strategies, really kind of like establish kind of like even a vitamin routine for myself, everything fell into place. And little by little, daily, every day, kind of daily, day by day, I would see my vaginal health improving. And now here I am telling you that thank God it's gone. Let's recap. If your man gave you BV, remember, he doesn't have BV. She does. He's just the carrier of the bacteria. 2, find the strength to leave, because if you stick with him, that BV will stay forever. And BV is one of those things that once they get a hold of you, it has a very strong hold and it is very hard to get rid of. So find the strength to leave, girl. 3, if you choose to stay, try to find a condom, try to start using a condom that's made with safer ingredients, and try to see if you can convince a doctor to treat your male partner as well, because if not, once again, you guys are going to be playing BV tag. He has it, you have it, he has it, you have it. Waste of time. You can go through his phone, if for no reason, if it just makes you feel better, and just let the girl know that, hey, by the way, we both have BV, yay! You're a hot girl, you don't have to be going through nothing like, oh my goodness, da, 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 da. You don't have to be going through all of that, but just letting her know, hey, you have BV, and he's probably giving you BV and giving me BV. It's going back and forth between us. If it does nothing, it's probably gonna make you feel better. Finally, just focus on changing your health and lifestyle. Build a vitamin routine for yourself. Start drinking some water. Start snacking smarter. Start pulling back on the sugar. Start eating more wholesome foods. And daily and little by little, day by day, you'll see that your vaginal health will start to improve. That's all I have for you today, but we'll talk soon because we still have so much to discuss.